Jefe, the German arrived yet?
Not yet, guapo. Many presents have been coming for your birthday.
German has the only presents I want. Guns! Guns so that the name of El Guapo will be hanging on everyone's lips.
He will be here, guapo. But I think you would like your other presents, too. I have put many beautiful piñatas in the storeroom, each of them filled with little surprises.
Many piñatas?
Oh, yes, many.
Would you say I have a plethora of piñatas?
A what?
A plethora.
Oh, yes. You have a plethora.
Jefe, what is a plethora?
Why, guapo?
Well, you told me I have a plethora. And I just would like to know if you know what a plethora is. I would not like to think that a person would tell someone he has a plethora and find out that that person has no idea what it means to have a plethora.
Forgive me, guapo. I know that I, jefe, do not have your superior intellect and education.
You're listening to Foundations for Founders, a podcast about startups and life and everything in between.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Foundations for Founders. I'm Dan in Post Falls.
I'm Angel in Seattle.
What's going on, man? How you been?
Good. I'm extremely exhausted today, but I'm doing pretty good.
Right
Lots
on.
of new changes at work and all kinds of stuff going on, so yeah.
Very
Not
cool.
bad though, just tired. Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear it in your voice a little bit. You sound a little tired.
Yeah.
We're recording a little bit earlier than normal for us people.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't roll out of bed at the crack of noon.
No,
No,
not
it's
anymore.
actually work putting in work today. How was your week?
Good.
With you?
Good. Just been busy, working a lot. You know, day job and the champ, and then had some interesting conversations. So we didn't mention this last week, but we have an ad running currently in the Wheels Deals here in Spokane, and they had suggested to change the background color on one of our ads, just to try and garner more attention. They felt background color change would do that. So I said, okay, all right, well, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And they messed up our ad on the print. The proof looked fine. But the actual print ended up getting rid of a ton of words that are in the ad.
Oh, that's excellent.
Right, and so I was like, hey guys, what happened? And they apologized profusely and promised to give us an extra week for free. And so now I'm just like, okay, well, hopefully it works. And I haven't had time to go and check and see if the updated ad worked or not. So I'm hoping to run to the grocery store later today and pick up the Wheels Deals and see what's up.
Yeah.
So it's important. Yeah.
It is important. It's very important. Our analytics are showing that we still have direct visits more than referral visits, so
Right.
The places we're marketing are working.
That's good. We're doing it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we're going to kind of do a shorter show today. We're just going to do stories.
Mm-hmm.
Both Angel and I personally have things going on, and we couldn't leave you guys hanging, so.
We cannot abandon the nation.
No.
Not even for one time now.
No, we cannot. Much like Conan, we know what is good in life.
Yeah.
And the Founder
And that's
Nation
the
is
Founder
good.
Nation. That's
Right,
it.
exactly.
That's factually correct.
So how do they get a hold of us?
Well, they carrier pigeon.
Right.
We discussed some of the protocols of using a carrier pigeon. If that's too inefficient, you could always reach out to us at FFF_nation on the Twitterverse, or you can drop us a line, and that would be Foundationsforfounders@gmail.com.
Right on.
Yeah.
We also have a SoundCloud now.
Mm-hmm.
I put us on SoundCloud, SoundCloud.com/HaggleChamp, because it wouldn't let me do a Foundations for Founders one for some reason. Whatever. So we have a HaggleChamp one. We've got our own personal Twitters as well. I'm at Dan Reyes.
Mm-hmm. I'm at AngelAspects21.
Right. Yep. So we got all that. So okay.
We got your social media covered.
Yeah. No kidding. Well, should we just get into the stories, or?
We could. We could
Yeah.
get right in. We could jump
Yeah.
right in.
Let's
Like
jump
we're
on in. The
hungry and
water's
it's a
fine.
meal.
Right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, so the first story comes to us from, of course, our paper of record, the New Hampshire Voice.
Sure.
I don't know why, which is nhv.us.
Mm-hmm.
So that NHV already just sounds like a disease, but whatever. Headline reads, P&G set to sell nearly 100 brands by this summer. So,
Mm-hmm.
according to senior management consumer goods product maker Procter & Gamble, the company is looking forward to selling nearly 100 brands by the end of the summer. The company has planned to sell some of its lower performing brands to consolidate their brand portfolio. So, if you don't know, Procter & Gamble sells all sorts of different products. Everything from Duracell batteries to, I've got their list up here. Let's see. Beauty and healthcare performers. I know one of them was like Old Spice, NyQuil, Charmin, Crest. Like, they have a lot of brands.
Yeah,
you know.
They do. They do. Now, the link you sent me for the story takes me directly to P&G's homepage.
I sent you two
leadership-
links because
with
I wanted you
leadership
to.
brands, yeah.
Yeah.
I ended up Googling around to try and figure it out because the second link doesn't work.
Mm.
And that took me to Cincinnati.com to kind of explain the story too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm trying to figure out what's the deal here, right?
Right.
So I've got one, says Procter & Gamble executives said Thursday they hope to have deals to sell off most of the 100 brands they're targeting for divestiture by the summer,
Mm-hmm.
and disclosed that they are cutting deeper than previously had indicated. John Moeller, that's their chief financial officer, told Wall Street Analysis the impact of the total divestitures will reduce the company's annual sales by 14%, up from a figure of 10%.
Oh, wow.
So that's a considerable difference when you're talking about 14% comprising $11 billion.
Right.
Doesn't say why. Do you have any idea why they're doing this?
No, I don't. The article I had said there were lower performing brands, so they just must be more costs than what they're worth at this point.
I'm guessing.
I mean, it's got to be that.
Down to a core group of only 70. That's a massive decline.
Yeah, that's huge.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, they've already sold Lambs and other pet food brands.
Mm-hmm.
Duracell and half a dozen each smaller beauty and overseas laundry brands.
Mm-hmm.
Braun Appliances and Wella Salon Professional could be among the next larger labels to leave.
I had no idea they owned Braun. That's weird.
Yep. Added brands. Let's see. Moeller added the brands that P&G is selling or exiting aren't bad businesses, just not ones that play to the company's strengths. So clearly, this umbrella is massive, and they're trying to rebrand it in some fashion, but I don't know to what that would be. Food, I mean, but yeah, Braun, they have several colognes, it looks like. There's Cascade, the dishwashing stuff, Bounty, Pampers, and Loves. Gillette, it looks like. Is it P&G?
Gillette is on there. I saw that.
Oral-B. I mean, these seem like massive.
I know. That's the crazy thing. And, I mean, they're selling them because they're just not making money off them, or not as much as they would like.
Yeah,
so, I mean, they're not going to keep around get rid of a profitable brand.
Well, they could if they're trying to bolster, like, say, the cash and equities part of the overall umbrella or parent corporation, in effort to spend all that to market into whatever they're rebranding themselves at. It is possible.
That's true.
But you're right. Normally when this happens, it's almost always because they're not making money.
Right.
It just seems weird that all of these brands are just getting liquidated. So I have no idea what the impact could be on that.
Well, I mean, part of me thinks too that they're doing this because in today's day and age, it's hard to be a giant company and not be able to move so fast. Like, business moves so fast nowadays, faster than even just 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be a little bit leaner and fluid, And I wonder if that's part of the strategy.
Yeah, but for a consumer goods company that has a chokehold on all the major brands, it just seems weird. I
It
mean,
it does seem weird.
it seems if they're underperforming, it doesn't seem weird. If they're, steadily,
Right.
uh, which nobody would be privy to that information unless you're on the inside of that. But
Right.
the stock watch is reflecting it. They're
Yeah.
down 0.34, so that's 0.40% down on a one-day trend. They're down to 84.87, but the one-year trend has been up and down, but slowly on the decline. I mean, since they've lost several dollars,
Mm-hmm.
$4 or $5 overall.
Right.
So
Just
yeah,
4 or
I don't
5.
know. I mean,
Yeah.
dividend yield's still at 3%, so I mean, it's not a massive business impact yet.
Right.
But who knows what they're doing? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's move on to our next story. So this comes to us from money.cnn.com. Snapchat eyes 19 billion valuation. So Snapchat founder Evan Spiegel seems to know a thing or two about his firm's worth. He famously declined Facebook's offer to buy the company for $3 billion in 2013, and now the euphorial messaging startup could be well on its way to a $19 billion valuation. Spiegel, who's only 24, is looking to raise another $500 million in funding and is asking for it in cash, according to Privco, a financial research firm. So essentially, Snapchat says that they are fairly valued at $19 billion. And they're basing that off of what WhatsApp got from Facebook. So apparently, though, two major VC firms have passed on the deal to help confirm this validation and give Snapchat money. And it is said that Snapchat, at the end of this funding round, walked away with a little bit shy of their goal with 485 million. So, and is currently valued at 10 billion. So, almost half of that 19 billion. I don't know. Do you see that much worth in Snapchat?
No, I don't see that much worth in Facebook.
Right. Well,
I laughed when they did their IPO and it was as high as it was. And
right.
everyone, it's the new sexy thing that nobody understands. So they're all jumping in on it and, oh, I want to get some of this while the IPO is what it is or whatever. And they all lost money because Facebook doesn't do anything for the business community at all, other than marketing, to other peers on a social media platform. I mean, it's all ad revenue, and I get that. Google did that, but Google's not a social media site. It has social media facets, but no, Facebook doesn't make money. Snapchat's not going to make money. Airbnb's not going to make money. Dropbox is useful in the business world, right?
Right.
Even what was the earlier comparison for the
WhatsApp
that they were basing against WhatsApp?
Yeah, it's a messaging service that Facebook bought. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we covered this story a while ago, and because we laughed that they turned their nose up at $3 billion, I'm still laughing because even if you raise $485 million of funding for what I don't know, whatever, especially if you turn your nose up to that much money in the beginning, you're not going to turn around and hold out and get more later on. It's not like, this isn't the NFL where you can just hold out. This is jump in while you still can or while you're hot kind of thing, especially for a tech startup that does nothing for the community. Nothing.
Yeah.
What did you say their target audience was?
High school kids.
Students?
Yeah.
There you go. Active members of the working community, right? These are money turners. No.
And the thing is, I know their big thing is oh, we delete your pictures, but I swear there's got to be some sort of residual image on some server somewhere. And if that's the case, do you know how much they can be busted for child porn? Because all these 13, 14, 15-year-old kids are
easily, yeah. And I mean, I don't see how this benefits anything. If anything at all, it's a breach of your own personal privacy, especially if you send sensitive information over Snapchat or whatever, banking on the fact it's going to be deleted or what have you. I mean, there could be leaks, there could be all kinds of stuff, but for what? At the sake of this is the one that you send a picture to your buddy, it stays on the screen for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then it's gone, right?
Right. I think it's 7 seconds or 9 seconds, something like that.
Cool. A novelty item. I have no idea what it's doing in business valuation because of its user base. I guess that could be targeted to sell something.
Right.
Clearly has to be ad driven. And what's he raising money for? Like, nobody's really asking all this as to what fight and, the comparison of
I think
valuation.
just to stay around and expand, but still, okay, great, you're expanding and you're getting into other markets. Okay, awesome. What are you doing with it? I know
Right.
Spiegel has mentioned that he wants it to be like a news service as well, where like people could post like, oh, look at this car wreck, or the president's here, or whatever. Even that to me, it's like, okay,
A 9-second
yeah,
breaking news article that you'll never be able to find again if it
Right.
disappears in 9 seconds.
yeah,
And then if like even still, like, what if you catch a crime in progress or something and you're doing good?
hmm
If it's that secure and nobody can retrieve that image again, then what's the point?
right.
I really don't understand the basis of this novelty item in a practical business sense on any front whatsoever.
Right.
Even if they're like, oh, but it could do this for a big business, or because of this user base, you can advertise X, Y, and Z or whatever. But it's, to me, like, this type of a program is like an extension on a browser, right? Like, it's a novelty item. It's not anything. I don't know. I mean, I have very low opinion of it. I have very limited experience with it. I know a few of my friends use it and stuff like that. And, oh, check this out, ha ha ha, and whatever. Yeah, that's cool, but whatever. I don't know. I mean, he's I guess trying to stay relevant and in the news, and fighting people for more money and doing fundraisers for what we don't know. So maybe there's some end game for this guy, but it's for something that makes no damn sense to me whatsoever. A 24-year-old kid is in the news for numbers that are like, $3 billion, $500 million in funding. So there's something to this to someone or several someone's, but
maybe not at the same time.
You know what that is?
No, and maybe not, because 2 major VC firms turned them down.
Right. Well, there's no business application here.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know, man. What are your thoughts on this? Have you used Snapchat? Do you think it could be useful in modern business practice anywhere?
We have one for Haggle Champ, and for the life of me, I can't figure out what to do with it. Like,
a Snapchat?
Yeah, we have a Haggle Champ Snapchat, but I think I've used it once just to see what would happen.
Right.
And nothing, all I've gotten is followers who are, teenage girls who every now and then take a picture of themselves and say, somebody talk to me. Okay, like, is this all it is to get attention?
Right, and even that scenario seems, especially because I would guarantee that's a prevalent scenario, seems like a dangerous game to play anyway.
Exactly.
Right, like.
Exactly.
I don't get it. So I don't know. I mean, a novelty item has lots and lots of money swirling around it for no damn reason at all. So that's fun. And it's good that we talk about this. I'm not just totally bagging on them because I don't like them. I'm bagging on them because, to me, they make no business sense for having this much money swirl around them. And I still hold to the fact that no matter what WhatsApp was offered by Facebook, and he's pissed off about it, clearly.
Right.
Okay, cool. Well, you had your shot at $3 billion to walk away and be like, hey, I made this thing. It's a novelty item. It's cool. Everyone got into it and whatever, and then it's gone. I mean, when's the last time you logged into MySpace?
Oh, yeah, that would be like 2010.
Okay, so about 5 years ago?
Right, if that.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, these things come and go, man.
And I know they do.
That was a legitimate, like, social media internet, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Justin Timberlake put a ton of money into it. He thought he saw value in it.
Now it's like music related mostly, isn't it?
Yeah, they realized that it was mainly bands and whatever trying to get themselves out there, so they tailored it more towards that. Makes sense. I don't know. To me, it's that old rap lyric: if it doesn't make dollars, it doesn't make sense.
Kinda.
You know? I don't know. Whatever.
I think
I
the
really
real
think
dollars here is if they did have access to all of the photographs that were sent across these networks.
right.
Which is a huge breach of privacy, but that would be worth billions for sure.
Well, and I wonder too, like, is that part of the end game that they tell us this and then, oh, by the way, no, we have been saving everything. You're all being blackmailed.
Yeah. Right now, it's against federal law to do that.
Right.
But hey,
Right.
whatever.
I don't know. I really think there's going to be a .com burst again with validations like this. Like Uber's is sitting at 41.2 billion right now.
That's the taxi cab service.
That's the
right?
taxi cab service based off of regular people that's being sued left and right by municipalities because they can't function in their cities.
That's going to be, if they had a downfall, that's going to be it right there. That's how they do it.
That's how it starts, I think. I think Uber will start the downfall. And then people will realize these companies aren't worth what people think they're worth. Or want them to be.
I think scalable, they would be worth quite a bit. But to just push and become the replacement for a modern taxi service when you have so much vagueness in your practical business application, that's how you vet the people that work for you, the liability stuff, and I'm sure they have a pretty strong insurance, and liability lawyers and stuff because of how big they are, to write all of that off. But yeah, I mean, and then there was those like the crimes and stuff. There's like rapes and things going on.
Yeah, in India. Yeah.
Yeah, I just, I mean, I could see why municipalities would shut them down. Like, absolutely not. Or they would just quit granting them independent licenses because a lot of states you have to have an independent license depending on which industry you're in. Food trucks, for example, right?
Right.
Like, you can't just hop in the food truck and drive to another state and city and town if you can't at least get permitted there. Right. Like if you can't get a license extension, you have to at least get permitted there. Doesn't work like that for this company, and I agree with you. I think that's probably how it's going to start.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, what are your thoughts on why you say there's going to be another .com boom? You mean bust?
I mean bust. I think the boom is happening right now, and the bust is coming.
Well, the boom is different, I think, than it was in the early 2000s, right?
Right.
Like late 1990s, early 2000s, because it seems like the finance industry was the biggest part of the .com, that, and then there was web design because everything was still so new, and then they developed products like Front Page and things like that, where it's like I promise you, toe to toe, a 12-year-old could design a cleaner web page than I could today. That's just not where my focus of technology has been, right? Like on a personal level, but I don't know. I think business boom. I would agree with you. I'm not sure about all these .coms, but it seems like everything's being crowdfunded now. Like that's how you win, is just crowdfunding, and it's either a product or it's a .com or it's an idea,
right?
And then they put those into practice. So, but yeah, these novelty items that are coming down to me, like Ubers and stuff like that, I would agree with you wholeheartedly. I think there's a bust beginning. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Let's get to our last story of the day, and this comes to us from the deaconchronicle.com. A good night's sleep can help you lose weight.
Well, sure.
So, study has shed new light on the links between sleep loss and diabetes, indicating that a lack of sleep can elevate levels of free fatty acids in the blood, accompanied by temporary pre-diabetic conditions in young, healthy men. Study was conducted by the University of Chicago Medical Center and suggests that something as simple as getting enough sleep could counteract the current epidemic of diabetes and obesity. So basically what they found was if you got at least 8.5 hours of sleep for 4 consecutive nights, it would help counteract the sleeplessness.
Yeah, these stories are always hard for me to speak to, I guess, because I have no knowledge of, medical practices and things like that. And
right.
It just seems super harebrained. This seems logical to me. Like, okay, well, if you found out that elevating levels of free fatty acids in the blood is because of lack of sleep, or at least that's a precursor, like they label it as a pre-diabetic condition. Okay, cool. More sleep, good. Um, that's a hard combatant for a lifestyle I live, though, because I'm well-to-do with averaging about 6 hours of sleep,
Right.
and that's because I have so much going on that, we're busy. We got a
Right.
lot of stuff going on, and I think diet probably has more to do with it. I would assume this is a small piece of losing weight, right? Like
Diet? Yeah, it's just
you,
a little bit.
you no, like this sleeping thing in the grand scheme of,
Well,
active, healthy lifestyle, better diet, you know, less,
I know
less
this.
overconsumption, and then sleep helps, right?
Right. Well, I know this. I know if you don't sleep enough, your body is far more likely to be full of the stress hormone cortisol. And cortisol holds on to fat in your body like crazy. Like if that stress hormone is kicked in, it's almost impossible to lose weight. So it stands to reason to me that yeah, if you sleep more, you'll have less cortisol in your blood, and if that hormone imbalance is not, if that hormone imbalance is there, you're not going to lose weight. But if the cortisol levels are down, then yeah, you'll probably lose weight.
But do you think in a percentile of exercise, diet, and stuff on less sleep, that sleep has a larger factor in that?
I
'Cause
would
that's
say,
an interesting debate.
I would say it is because here's the thing. Why do steroids work? Steroids are hormones, right? And no matter you have to lift with them for them to really work. But even if you just straight took steroids, you would get bigger and you would look more muscular, right? And why is that? Because they're activating those hormones in your body. Same idea with this. Yeah, you can work out and you can eat right, but if you're triggering the hormone effect of, reducing cortisol, then yeah, you're gonna lose weight.
You seem to know a lot about steroids. Are you juicing, bro?
I am. I'm rolling. You know, I
Are
got
you gonna go into a roid rage on the
I got a
podcast
cycle.
and just...
It's a cycle.
Oh yeah.
You cycle in
So
and
how
out.
does explain to me the cycle? What is the
Oh
loop of
yeah,
the
you cycle for I think it's
Yeah.
30 days on
Uh-huh.
on steroids and it's 30
Sure.
days off because you can't just continually ride the steroids train. You got to let your body recover.
Wow.
So they call it cycling.
Wow. I thought cycling was just hopping on like an exercycle at the
No,
gym.
no, it's not Lance Armstrong cycling.
Mhm.
Although he did
Not
do
even,
steroids,
no.
so yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
That's one of those things where steroids are weird to me, man. Like I clearly have no interest in getting buff, right?
Right.
Like whatever. But steroids are interesting because there was a time, if memory serves, that those were prescribed by doctors as the miracle recovery, right?
They still are in some respects.
Yeah,
Like inhalers that kids use for asthma, those are just steroids.
well, wait, okay, so prednisone steroids and anabolic steroids are two totally different things.
Right, but still.
Yeah, and I have taken prednisone steroids for breathing problems and stuff in the past, and to a degree, it makes your body shake, and you kind of feel like you can run through a wall, and it's weird, but I don't think it triggers as hard or the same fashion. Of course, again, medical topics are hard for me to speak to, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about most of the time.
Neither
from
do
my
I. I'm not a
experience,
doctor.
right?
Yeah.
But I will say, last time I went to the doctor for any reason whatsoever, I was handed a WebMD printout.
Well, that's no good.
No, that's
no bueno.
That's infuriating.
Yeah, no kidding.
Right? Like, what, am I going to pay you a copay and go in here because I have a headache and, it looks like you have polio? Like,
right.
What? Yeah,
or you're pregnant.
Right, yeah. Oh, we must have your WebMD results mixed up. We put the wrong IP address in there. I'm sorry. Well, so this is cool, though. I mean, clearly I want to hear from the Founder Nation on this one.
Yeah.
Tweet at us, write to us, what have you. But so where are the test studies for this? This is a big article. So this was done
Chicago, University of Chicago. Yeah.
Yeah, and
the relaxation capital of the U.S.
Is that the relaxation capital of the U.S.?
Sure, why not? They have the highest murder rate right now, so yeah.
Oh, it has the highest murder rate?
Yeah. Chicago's dangerous.
I thought that was Michigan somewhere.
No. Like Detroit? No, it's Chicago now.
Like Flint, Michigan. I'm gonna bag on Flint, Michigan, because that's where my friend from work is from, and I was talking about how prime it is. Yeah.
No. It's Chicago, man.
Yeah, just Google some pictures from there. It doesn't look like a very welcoming place, but Chicago's the murder capital right now, yeah.
Right now, yeah. It used to be D.C. for a while, New
Yeah.
York, I know, was it right now? Yeah, they base it off percentages. Like, how likely are you to be killed if you go there?
Wow.
Yeah, Chicago's.
So
Yeah,
let's see here. What are they saying? We got to give them an answer. What is a good full night's rest according to this?
8.5 hours for an adult
That's where you want to be. It's
for
8.5
4
hours.
consecutive nights.
4 consecutive nights.
Yeah.
8.5 hours. We should. I kind of want to do a sleep challenge because that sounds great. Because I can't sleep that long, dude. I can't.
I bet I could make myself. I wouldn't get as
can't.
much done.
I would probably need to enlist the help of supplements of some kind if I was.
Oh, I
going
did.
to.
Yeah, I have to. I take melatonin every night.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever doesn't leave me wicked drowsy the next morning.
Melatonin won't.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's what I hear. I don't know. I'm terrified of. But I drink, enough coffee to.
Yeah, it's the hormone your body creates. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're also cycling, so I don't know. If
I am
trust
cycling.
you.
Right.
Are
Brother
you
Jack
on
dude.
cycle or off at the moment?
Right. Well, I have to have the road.
You're not gonna say. That's fine.
No, what was the question? I missed it.
I said, are you on cycle or off right now?
Oh, I'm off. I'm off right
Oh,
now.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Now we're cutting.
Excellent.
The thing is, these are all real terms, and like maybe a few of our listeners are like, "Oh yeah, I know these terms."
Yeah, I'm sure there are, but
Yeah.
hell if I know, dude.
Well, okay. So if you really want to know more about steroids, there's a really interesting documentary on Netflix called Bigger, Faster, Stronger.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, just a regular dude, just went and looked into the research and why are steroids bad, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really, really
Do they
interesting.
follow like one particular guy, or is it like?
They follow a few, and then like what was the thing? He showed in a year how many steroid deaths there were in comparison to other types of you know drug related deaths, and I
Mhm.
think there were more aspirin and multivitamin related deaths than there were steroid deaths.
How how is a multivitamin related death in a study right now?
I don't
Like,
know, but a few people have died from them.
how taking too much of them? I
Uh,
thought vitamins were
y-
good. Like,
Not necessarily. I mean, some have got extra. You have to see what's in them. You know, there could be something that causes an allergic reaction. Not all vitamins are created the same.
not all vitamins are created equal.
That's true.
Well, this sparks my interest to a degree because I don't know, like when you're a kid, you get handed your multivitamin and
Your Flintstone.
you know what I'm saying?
We all
Yeah,
got Flintstones.
whatever, like that'll work, and then they had the gummy bear style chewable vitamins.
Oh, I never liked those.
Well, gummy bears are my favorite candy, so I didn't like mixing the two either. I'll agree with you there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you grabbed your lunchbox and you straight up went to school and whatever. But yeah, it's interesting because now I'm wondering what I was fed all those years.
Well, okay. So now I have a personal question for you.
Sure.
You hate the honey bears, but you like the gummy bears.
Correct.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure that's accurate.
Factually correct. Yeah.
Right.
I think that there's reason to that, right? Like
Right.
when I got really really ill when I was little, and they couldn't figure out what it was. They diagnosed me initially with a hyper aggressive form of Epstein-Barr, where it's just constantly eats away at your immune system. But I had fevers at this time that they couldn't break. It was like 103 to 105, but it was for several days on end. Like
Mhm.
where you're baking brain cells away at some point. And I think in some fever-induced partial reality, partial hallucination state that I was in for days and days on end at this period of my life, they would bring in hospital trays with honey bears on them, and I think something just stuck subconsciously in some way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I think something just got weird at that point. But yeah, it terrifies the crap out of me. But I don't mind the gummy bears. Like, the little ones are tasty and delicious, whatever. But I think that might have been what that's from.
Could be.
But I
Sounds
don't know
like
that-
it.
Like this whole, I don't know. I got to do some homework. I want to be able to speak to this topic going forward. Maybe we'll revisit it. But like, I was going through recently. I got a hold of all of my immunization records as a kid,
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no wonder I got so damn sick and, have weird health ins and outs at times in my life that I can't explain. Because you look at the frequency of shots I received in the 80s and the 90s, and then the length of time between the shots were not that far away. And at the time, like when you look back at some of the drugs that were in them, seemed to be like very experimental. I wouldn't say that they were like treatment experimental, but just the immunization part. It's like they really didn't have their stuff together at the time, or there wasn't as strenuous an FDA regulation on what was in them and stuff like that. But it makes me scared as hell to go to the local Walgreens and get what's the H1N1 vaccine and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's value there, but they scare the crap out of me. It's like, I don't know, man. And then, your parents are trying to do the right thing, so you get all these shots, and it's like, God, no wonder I'm screwed up. You guys didn't even know what the hell was in it at the time. So I don't know, dude. I don't know. That's a tangent that probably has nothing to do with the sleep study. But I want to hear from the nation on this one. This is interesting to me.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from people as well.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man. Well, we should probably wrap it up. Sleep, yes.
Yeah.
We should probably wrap it up.
Yeah. We got to cut this one short. We got to get going.
Right, exactly. So, thank you everybody for listening. Had a blast doing the show. I'm at Dan Reyes on Twitter.
Mm-hmm. I'm at Angel Aspects 21. You could find us at FFF_nation or Foundationsforfounders@gmail.com.
All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Bye.
Buying a used vehicle can be very stressful, but HaggleChamp.com makes it much easier. At HaggleChamp.com, all you have to do is tell us what make, model, and year that you're after, and we'll alert our dealer network. Our dealers will give you their offer, and you can declare your #1 contender. That's the offer you like the best so far. This then re-notifies the dealer network and encourages them to give you an even better deal. It's free to use, so head over to HaggleChamp.com. That's HaggleChamp.com.